around. I mean, this is Jakal. This is Jude Harris. He's the guy. He's the pride of Tri-State in so many ways, and he is looking good. After I wonder what that shine loss really did. Because after losing to Syrup, because he went back to Warped and said, I'm just going to beat everybody handily, and he dropped 2 games that entire bracket. So, coming back here to the first fusion,
Warped.
It's pretty wild. But Desyree, I believe their primary or their tri-state subregion is of Staten Island, which is far from a poor subregion with players like Zomba and Peko coming from that same type of area. But this Palutena is a matchup that Jakal is just so familiar in, and it's really a unique kind of wolf experience that you do have to be ready for when going against a recently minted PGR player.
Yeah, and you know what? I just gotta say, in this world of confusing DLC characters and fighters past 2s, thank God that North Jersey is here to provide you with a good old-fashioned Wolf Palu matchup. Like, let's hear it for North Jersey, ladies and germs.
Base cast boys out here, ladies and gents, especially since Desyree was able to turn that into a first stock lead and a position of power overall. While Palutena does have a lot of means of solidly approaching with their speed, I feel like she's at her most comfortable with retreating aerials, covering a lot of airspace, and throwing out things like Explosive Flame and Auto Reticle to maintain space. Very much a base cast Smash Ultimate kind of powerhouse.
Yep, and really solid play. Using the aerial drift and the multi-hits, like locking Jakal and shield stun so as to stay out of that grab range. Like, very educated play from Desyree here.
Desyree's playing actually insane, by the way. Like, he's like doing Nair from ledge to counteract the tri-state turnaround and preventing Jakal from getting some of these back throws, setting up amazingly with down throw on these platforms, and as well as not even to mention that big spike, taking the trade with Wolf up B. Like, this is a shutdown kind of like anti-Wolf kind of game plan for so much of this. And the tech.
But you got it happens. Okay, now Jakal can still absolutely win this. We have seen. I want to call back to something that a very wise top player once told me, which is that top player privilege is like your round 1 winner's opponent going up 2 stocks on you and then getting in their own head and starting to make mistakes, and then you just win because they're like, oh my god, I might actually take a game here. Like, that's top player privilege for real.
It's going to be up to Desyree to shut that kind of idea down, but it looks like they've really been playing super disciplined this entire game. They've held their ground. They've found cheeky reversals like that pivot grab, though you can't let things slip through your fingers. Jakal's continuous work to improve his punish game rears its head yet again with that weak Nair flash. 89% is, like, it's a solid lead, but it can disapparate so quickly after this ledge trap.
Yeah, and the thing here is that, like, considering the fact that this is a winner's round 3, and, like, the seeding difference between these 2 players is still, like, Jakal's first seed at a local. Like, you don't get the luxury of seeing Jakal panic yet. Considering the fact, like, even the fact that it's last stock and, oh no!
Another ledge trap.
After all of those good grabs.
Wow, that Explosive Flame worked again. They've been going for that, like, jump Explosive Flame quite a bit over this ledge play, and Jakal's avoided it most times, but in the time where they didn't, it just ended up working, and Desyree is able to stave off a massive comeback attempt from Jakal into a game win, 1-0 on the top seed of the tournament.
Yeah. Now, like, this is, like, still, you have to consider the caliber of play that you're up against here. I'm not gonna say that you have to completely reinvent your playstyle in game 2, but you're gonna need, like, the bag of tricks still has to go deeper.
Yeah, and there's some ready adaptations from Jakal. Once they've been seeing shield at ledge, and just in general, Desyree has been jumping a ton ton from ledge, doing a lot of ledge drop nairs or just jump from ledge into explosive flame or landing option or what have you. Jakal can easily play the ground game to turn that around, but Palu has her own answers to all of that entirely, including some really devious empty hops. But that grab was super well. Oh my god. These two are firing right now. And another jump from ledge, but it turned into an empty hop that time. Oh, Desyree is in on the mix-ups, and we are playing Smash Brothers today, ladies and gentlemen. This is already such a great game.
And
what was the jump call out to?
These grabs are insane. Desyree like has the playbook on where on Jakal enough to get like these turnaround grabs, just run up grabs. You don't run up grab Jakal. Like that doesn't happen.
Super clean bait on Jakal's part, by the way.
Right,
the flashing shield in order to make Desyree approach with a dash attack, or dropping shield in just for a moment to approach with a dash attack, getting a punish. Looking for a big turnaround. That is a true combo at some of those low percents. Usually doesn't close out stocks, but it can put your opponent in threatening situations. Great DI from Desyree to avoid it.
Right. Now, one thing that may be potentially worrying for the future of this set, or at least for Desyree, is that we haven't really seen Desyree play a whole lot of defense against Jakal, because game one was so much about the offense from Desyree, just like getting things and hitting things, and like everything was breaking right. And there's nothing to say that Desyree can't continue that, but we're gonna need to see how Desyree handles the offense from Jakal, because now you're playing from behind.
I think you're onto something, Clem, but I will put in this. A lot of the times, Desiree's defensive options have been geared towards reversals. So in theory, that can be really good at mixing up timings, but it does mean your offense and your defense are very, very similar game plans. So if you adapt to one, you adapt to both, which can be very, very dangerous. And I really like to see that Desyree starting to, at the very least, slow the game down just a little bit here to try and not only collect your bearings, but collect your options. But Jakal's not going to let you throw out an auto reticle for free there.
No, absolutely not. But I was very I'm glad you pointed out the reversals, because as you were talking about that, Desyree did a really, really good job of just like using that nair not just as one of those reversals, just like it's a can opener from a defense into offense. And Desiree's play on the platforms, their play has been phenomenal. But it's just blocking Jakal down, keeping him on these platforms, giving him nowhere to go, catching the landings. Man,
that's the top player experience, where it's like things that you are allowed to get away with in game one. No, not anymore. That teleport really close to the ledge in order to get a nice quick snap. Don't worry, don't let Jakal set up a ledge trap. I mean, we just saw it in this clip, right? Super close teleport, and Jakal's like, all right, let me set up another ledge trap and get you for it.
And like, I tend to characterize Jakal as being such a fundamentally sound and grounded player. Like somebody who is very, very content to sit on ledge and spam those high APM back airs that he's so well known for. But when Jakal really starts to go ham off stage, that's a really, really scary thing to deal with, because it's something very probably players are not used to having to deal with.
No, and it's something players won't deal with a lot with Wolf in general, but Jakal especially, because he oftentimes tries to commit to the high percentage play. And if he's going for that back air, you know it's hitting. Oh, but don't get anything twisted though, chat. After how game one went and game two showing many signs of life, especially with that very nice teleport back to center, Desyree, this is an absolutely winnable game for them.
Oh yeah. And it's like there's still, and like for everything that we've seen so far, Desyree, even when like all the chips are down and Jakal's really starting to get into gear, Desyree has been able to hold their own.
For sure. Oh, the scoop, but didn't get the back throw, just got jab instead. That back throw might have resulted in a stock, given how close those side blast zones can be. Shoutouts to Palu's standing grab.
Look at the composure. Like, if Jakal is spamming aerials on my shield right in my face, I'm sobbing. Desyree stands there, takes it, and gets a grab.
It's things that come with playing a character that is very common, but again, Jakal throws out the bait for the reversal into a big, big punish taking a couple steps back to bait out a dash attack and punishing with a huge back air. Not to mention the patience here. He's just, he's just waiting. Oh, the mistime. The mistime grab.
After all of that, there was so many mind games in that 3 seconds to play there.
Okay, 160 here though. A nair into up tilt is on the table here, but oh, that's so much damage being turned on. And equally as much, two falling fares converting into 65%.
Now, okay, very nice finishing off the stock there with the nair. I'm wondering if there's anything that, anything specific to this matchup that is causing Desyree to not really attempt any sort of anything with it up smash at the ledge as part of their edge running repertoire.
Maybe it's something they're
really get mileage here, but it could be something that Desyree knows that Jakal is scouted out.
Yeah, it could be very well that they're trying to make Jakal go for Wolf Flash as a recovery instead of just the Fire Wolf, because Wolf Flash is so much easier to intercept right at the ledge. But yet again, another solid back air punishing the auto reticle closes out stock number 2 for Jakal. Desyree maybe will able to. I was gonna say that nair could have started something, but it turns out to be just a rather scrappy kind of game state rather than just throw advantage for Desyree.
Speaking of scrappy, okay, yeah, Desyree wasting absolutely no time. Oh.
Okay.
Maybe committing a little bit too early, but still the idea is there. But Desyree, on last stock, game 3 against the #1 seed here, goes straight in, no fear, and is able to get a string of offense going. Now, oh man, the creativity always there from Jakal. The playbook, the playbook goes so deep.
But he only pulls out those leafs for when he knows that they will work most of the time. And in that position, what does Jakal get hit by? He's in a knockdown situation where he has the opportunity to cover just about anything, but instead of covering, and chooses to cover, stay there, neutral get up, and roll away, all in one big motion. One big motion that kills, rather than just, oh, you get up, attack me, I'm fine, you roll in, I'm in the corner, which kind of sucks, but I have an extra stock to go with. High percentage plays really make the difference for characters built on raw fundamentals, like even Palutena, and we saw that a lot from Desyree too, but just the added detriment of losing the lead early, losing some of that early momentum, caused more and more risky plays to come out, and all of those risks were baited out very well by Jakal.
Yeah, I mean,